You know that feeling, right? That mix of excitement and maybe a little bit of nerves as you're standing at a crossroads.
Hmm.
Maybe you just finished your studies, toss the cap, or you're thinking about a totally different career path, wondering, okay, what now?
Right. The big unknown.
Exactly. And the world, it often pushes this idea of instant success, like it should be this straight line to a breakthrough overnight.
Yeah, that pressure is real.
But what if the reality is, well, a lot more complex? Kind of a roller coaster, full of challenges, but also, maybe surprisingly, full of new opportunities.
That's what we're digging into.
This deep dive is all about navigating that modern job market. We're going to pull back the curtain on the emotional side of job searching, which can be really tough.
Definitely.
We'll unpack the data on youth unemployment, hear some raw personal stories about rejection, which, let's be honest, most of us have faced.
Oh, absolutely.
And then pivot to how skills demands are changing, which actually might be really good news.
That's the hopeful part, yeah.
So our mission today is to sort of light up the path forward, help you understand not just what's going on, but how you can strategically position yourself for success wherever you are in your journey.
And we've got some really interesting sources lined up. Academic studies, looking at social media, candid stories from real people.
Yeah, even insights into what the 2025 job market is actually looking for. So, okay, let's get into it. First stop, the big picture. What does the data really tell us about the pressures facing young people stepping out of university?
Well, we're going to start with a study that gives us a pretty powerful, data-driven look at the emotional side of unemployment. It focuses on Chinese university graduates.
Okay.
And what's really interesting here is how they use social media. It gives us this real-time glimpse into feelings.
Right, like an unfiltered view.
Exactly. It captures sentiments in a way surveys sometimes miss. And it shows how universal this experience can feel, even though this study is based in China.
So this study, it's from Frontiers in Public Health, right? And they looked at, what, over 30,000 posts?
Yeah, over 30,000 posts
Huh.
on Sina Weibo, which is, like their version of X or Twitter. Huge platform.
And this was from January 2019 to June 2023, a decent time frame.
Right. And they were specifically looking for keywords tied to unemployment and, importantly, anxiety among university students, trying to see the connection.
And what did they find? Was there a clear link?
Oh, definitely. The findings were pretty stark. They saw these significant jumps in urban youth unemployment rates, especially for the 16 to 24 age group.
Mm-hmm.
It actually hit a record high 21.3% in June 2023.
Wow, over 1 in 5.
Yeah. And crucially, these peaks often lined up with graduation season, June and July.
Makes sense. More people flooding the market.
Exactly. And the study found a strong positive correlation between those rising unemployment numbers and more posts expressing anxiety, negative emotions, sadness.
So as unemployment went up, anxiety on social media went up too.
Precisely. They even used this linguistic category called affect, basically measuring the emotional tone, and it clearly showed more distress when unemployment was higher.
That methodology, using Weibo for its anonymity.
Yeah.
That's clever. People might be more honest than in a survey, right?
That's the idea. It reduces that self-censorship you sometimes get. They called it a natural linguistic source.
But I guess the flip side is, does social media sometimes amplify the negativity? Are the loudest voices the most anxious ones?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
No single method is perfect,
Yeah.
right? It might amplify certain things, but it still gives us this raw, less filtered pulse that traditional research might miss.
Okay.
And it really brings us to the core question. Even though this is China, what does it tell us about the universal psychological impact?
That joblessness hits hard emotionally.
Exactly. The anxiety, the stress tied to economic stability. It's profound. It's not just numbers. It's a deeply human experience, especially during that big life transition.
Okay, so the data paints a picture of anxiety, but that's still a bit abstract. To really get it, we need to hear what it feels like.
Right, the lived experience.
What's it like being in the thick of job searching, facing rejection after rejection, that gut punch feeling?
Yeah, and for that, we found some incredibly honest stuff on Reddit. A thread on a subreddit called Ear Recruiting Hell.
Oh, I can imagine the stories there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really brings the emotional side to life. And it shows these feelings are, well, everywhere, truly global.
So what are people saying? What does that rejection feel like day to day?
Well, you see descriptions like feeling really upset for about 2 days or just stressed, trapped. Someone called rejection a slap in the face.
Oh, yeah.
People talked about crying after getting turned down, especially for jobs they really wanted, dream jobs. Or after these super long interview processes.
Like months long.
Yeah, one person mentioned 2 months, 4 rounds of interviews.
Yeah.
Imagine putting all that effort in.
That's brutal. And you mentioned someone, Twin Bladesco. Their story sounded intense.
Yeah, really striking. 11 months unemployed. Despite being, in their words, super well published, background in biotech, Harvard connections, sales experience, even construction.
Wow, that's a diverse skill set.
Right. And still struggling. Working odd jobs, planning for more unemployment, even landing a contract role with no benefits and a 10-mile walk commute each day.
That just shows incredible grit, but also how tough the market can be.
Absolutely. And there's this huge frustration with the system itself that comes through.
Like what?
People saying, rejections often have nothing to do with you. It might be an internal hire or some kind of obligation business, or the interviewer just didn't vibe with you.
Right, the fit thing.
Exactly. That idea of being a unicorn with sprinkles versus a unicorn with stripes.
Yeah.
Like, you're qualified, you're a unicorn, but not the specific kind they imagined.
Huh. I like that. It captures that feeling perfectly.
Doesn't it? And then there are the unreal expectations for entry-level jobs.
Oh, yeah. The classic entry-level position requires 3 to 5 years experience.
Exactly that. Or even worse, someone mentioned an employer asking for months of unpaid work as a test.
Get out. That's exploitation, not a test.
Pretty shocking. But amidst all this, people are finding ways to cope. They're sharing strategies.
Okay, so what helps? How do people keep going?
A lot of it is about mindset. Just move forward, on to the next one.
Easier said than done sometimes, but necessary.
Definitely. Another common piece of advice. Give yourself a set amount of time to be disappointed, sad, but when that's over, you move on. Like, allow the feeling, but then consciously shift.
Right, compartmentalize it a bit.
Yeah, and the volume approach helps some people. It's harder to care about that one rejection when you're applying to a bunch of employers. Spreading the emotional investment, maybe?
Dilutes the impact of any single no.
Sort of. And some mention therapy, specifically for rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which, honestly, after months of this seems completely understandable.
Totally. That repeated rejection can really wear you down.
But the core message seems to be it's not personal, or reframing it. If they don't want you, then they don't deserve you. Using rejection as fuel.
Proves them wrong energy.
Exactly. That defiant persistence.
You know, hearing those stories, it's tough, but it also connects to something really interesting.
Which is this?
While individuals are going through this, the market itself is changing in a pretty big way. And maybe, just maybe, that's the silver lining here, especially for new grads.
Ah, right. If we zoom out again, connect the personal struggle to the bigger trends, those traditional barriers, they're actually starting to crumble a bit.
Yeah. How so?
Well, let's look at how the 2025 job market seems to be redefining experience.
Okay, I'm intrigued because that need experience to get experience thing is maddening.
Totally. It's the classic catch-22.
Yeah.
But sources like the Interview Guys and that skills gap study from South Africa we mentioned, they really highlight a shift.
So what's the shift? Are companies finally ditching the years of experience requirement?
Increasingly, yes. The data is pretty compelling. An analysis from Indeed Hiring Lab in April 2024 found only 30% of U.S. job postings explicitly asked for a specific number of years of experience.
Only 30%. Wow. What was it before?
It was 40% back in 2022, so that's a noticeable drop.
Which means 70% of jobs either don't mention experience or are open to people without it.
Basically, yeah, that X years required line. It's becoming more of a suggestion, a nice to have, not a hard rule for a lot of roles.
That is a seismic shift. What's driving that? Why are companies changing their tune?
Several things. The pandemic showed the value of adaptability. Rapid tech changes mean specific up-to-date skills are often more valuable than just time served in an older role.
True. Tech moves so fast.
Right. Plus, there are concerns about talent pipelines, demographic shifts.
Yeah.
Employers need to widen their pools. And honestly, many companies found that after good onboarding, there wasn't much performance difference anyway.
Between someone with experience and someone without.
Often, yeah. Which leads directly to the rise of skills-based hiring.
Okay, so focusing on what you can do, not just where you've been.
Precisely. The numbers back this up. 61% of hiring managers say they prioritize job skills over traditional experience for entry-level roles.
61%, that's huge.
And get this, 9 out of 10 executives agree. Soft skills are more important than ever.
Soft skills, interesting. We hear that a lot.
Yeah, and 73% of employers actually adopted skills-based hiring practices in the past year. That's up significantly from 56% in 2022.
So they're actively changing how they hire. How are they assessing skills then?
They're using more assessment tools, technical tests, situational judgment scenarios, behavioral questions, trying to get concrete evidence of skills.
And this connects to the skills gaps idea too, right? Like the South Africa study mentioned.
Exactly. That study defined a skills gap as the mismatch between the skills workers have and the skills employers need.
What causes those gaps?
All sorts of things. Rapid tech like AI, the pandemic disrupting things, high employee turnover, economic factors, even education choices like lots of grads in fields with lower demand versus, say, engineering.
Right.
But a key finding there was the lack of soft skills, even when technical skills were present. Things like communication, critical thinking.
The foundational stuff. And that hurts productivity, innovation.
Yeah, it has real economic impacts. But the flip side of these gaps for newcomers,
It's opportunity.
yes, there are clear opportunity hotspots. Think AI and tech. Data annotation, AI training, prompt engineering, these can pay really well, like 85, 90, 95K entry level, and often value self-taught skills.
Okay. So you don't necessarily need a specific degree.
That always. Same in the green economy, sustainability assistance, solar techs, healthcare support roles like patient care coordinators, medical scribes,
Mhm.
and remote admin or customer support roles.
Virtual assistants, remote customer service.
Right. Paying maybe $15, $30 an hour, valuing communication, tech skill, self-motivation. The point is, the landscape is dynamic. Your ability to learn and show relevant skills, that's becoming your biggest asset.
Okay, this is all fascinating. We've seen the anxiety, the rejection, but also this huge shift towards skills. So let's bring it home. What does this all mean for you listening right now? How do you actually use this?
Right. How do you leverage these shifts and navigate this new world without just getting overwhelmed?
Yeah. How do we empower ourselves?
Well, it really boils down to a multi-pronged approach. Practical steps combined with a shift in mindset.
Okay, step one.
Redefine your experience. Move beyond just listing past jobs.
What else counts?
So much. Academic projects, volunteer work, internships, any leadership roles on campus, personal projects you build, gig work, even family responsibilities if they show relevant skills.
Like managing a budget or organizing things?
Exactly. Highlight those transferable skills. Leadership, communication, problem solving, tech skills you picked up, project management.
And you mentioned quantifying achievements, making them concrete.
Yes. Crucial tip. Don't just say manage social media. Say manage social media accounts, grew following by 20% to 1,200 plus followers. Numbers grab attention.
Gotcha. Makes it real. What about those soft skills we mentioned? They seem super important.
Absolutely critical. All our sources point to things like adaptability, being able to learn quickly, communication, written and verbal problem solving, teamwork, time management, emotional intelligence.
These are the skills employers keep saying are missing, right? The soft skills gap.
Exactly. So demonstrating these in your resume, your cover letter, your interviews, that's key. Show, don't just tell.
Okay, so how do you get these skills or prove you have them, especially if you're starting out?
Well, pathways to learn are everywhere now. Online platforms, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, EDX, even YouTube tutorials.
Right, tons of resources.
And certifications can give you a real edge. Google career certificates, things in data analytics or project management, IBM has them. Cloud certifications, even something like the CAPM for entry-level project management.
So targeted learning, that gives you a credential.
Yeah, it shows initiative and gives you specific in-demand skills,
Mhm.
often much faster than a full degree program.
Beyond skills, what about just getting noticed? The whole networking and online presence thing.
Also huge, your digital footprint matters. LinkedIn profile needs to be sharp professional photo, compelling headline, good about section.
List your skills there too.
Definitely, at least 20 relevant ones. Get recommendations from professors or supervisors. Maybe build a simple portfolio website to showcase your work projects, writing, anything tangible.
And networking. Sometimes that word feels intimidating.
It can, but try to shift your mindset. It's not just transactional asking for jobs. It's about building relationships
So where do you start?
with people you know. Professors, alumni from your school, old internship bosses, family friends, then branch out. Attend industry events, career fairs, virtual ones count too.
Do your homework before those, right?
Yes. Research companies, prepare a quick intro, your elevator pitch, ask smart questions, and always follow up.
What about informational interviews? Are those still a thing?
Absolutely. Great way to learn about a field or company without the pressure of a job interview. Just reach out, ask for 15, 20 minutes to hear about their experience, Come prepared with questions.
Build connections, learn stuff, win-win.
Exactly. And stay in touch periodically. Share an interesting article, congratulate them on something. Keep the connection warm.
Okay, this is all great practical advice. But underlying all of this, it seems like you need a good dose of patience, right?
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
That's maybe the final crucial piece. Patience and persistence.
Because social media makes everything look instant.
Right. That illusion of overnight success. But real success, meaningful careers, they often take years, sometimes decades. Think Samuel L. Jackson, Vera Wang, they hit their stride later in life.
Jack Ma and all those rejections.
Perfect example. Patience allows for deep skill building, developing a strong network over time, like Satya Nadella at Microsoft. You gain wisdom, experience. Edison knew that.
And it builds resilience, right? Bouncing back from those inevitable setbacks.
Exactly, like Jack Ma did. So how do you cultivate that patience? It's not easy.
Any tips?
Set long-term goals, but break them down into small, manageable steps. Celebrate the small wins. Embrace continuous learning. Think becoming is better than being. Always improving.
Mindfulness helps too, I bet.
Definitely. Meditation, walks, just being present. It reduces stress, keeps you focused. Seek feedback, reflect on it, and practically. Maintain some structure in your day, especially if unemployed. Focus on your journey. Avoid comparing yourself to others online.
Comparison is the thief of joy, they say. So true. Be willing to take calculated risks, especially when you're younger. And maybe be a bit frugal as you start out. It all adds up.
Wow. Okay, so this whole deep dive, it really shows that, yeah, the journey might be tough, bumpy even, but you're absolutely not powerless. There are tools, there are strategies, there's a different way to think about it.
Absolutely. The future of work, it's looking less like a ladder and more like a jungle gym, maybe?
Yeah,
Agile, multi-directional.
I like that. A jungle gym.
Yeah. And as that old experience paradox starts to fade, the real currency becomes your adaptability, your hunger to learn, and those human skills, creativity, empathy, communication, that AI just can't replicate.
So we've covered a lot today. We went through the emotional roller coaster of unemployment, the sting of rejection, but how common it is,
Right.
and then this really hopeful shift towards skills and potential over just years on a resume.
And the strategies to navigate it all, skills, network, patience.
Exactly. So as you, our listener, look ahead, here's the final thought, the provocative question perhaps.
How will you embrace this changing reality? Not as some scary barrier, but as maybe an unprecedented opportunity to define success on your own terms, even if that means forging a totally unique path in this constantly shifting world.
We've laid out the landscape, the tools, the mindset shift.
Now it's over to you.